everyone. So today we'll study lower limb part 1. In this we'll see facial arter, intermuscular septum, iliotibial tract, femoral triangle, its boundaries, roof, floor, contents, femoral sheath, femoral canal and its clinicals. So starting with the facial arter, it is a fibrous sheath which envelops the whole thigh. So it has few modifications, that are the intermuscular septum and iliotibial tract. So if we see the intermuscular septum first, it divides the thigh into three compartments. That is the anterior compartment, the medial compartment and the posterior compartment. So the thigh is divided into three compartments, and this is the medial intermuscular septum, posterior intermuscular septum and lateral intermuscular septum. So between the lateral and medial lies the anterior compartment. Between medial and posterior lies the medial compartment, and posterior and lateral, in these two lies the posterior compartment. So if you see the diagram in my notes, this is the anterior compartment, medial and posterior compartment, and two muscles are present below these intermuscular septums, that is the adductor magnus and pectineus. Adductor magnus is supplied by obturator and sciatic nerve, because adductor magnus is considered to be a part of both middle compartment of thigh, and so it is supplied by obturator nerve, and it is also considered as the part of posterior compartment of thigh, so it is also supplied by sciatic nerve. And pectineus is sometimes considered as in the medial compartment of thigh, so it's supplied by obturative nerve, and is sometimes also considered as the part of the anterior compartment of thigh, and so it is supplied by also the femoral nerve. So this is all about the intermuscular septum and facial arter. The other modification of facial arter is the iliotibial tract or iliotibial band. This extends from the tubercle of iliac crest and capsule of hip joint. So it has two origins, but is extending and inserting on the tubercle on the tibial condyle, lateral tibial condyle. It is also known as Gerdy's tubercle on anterior surface of lateral tibial condyle. So there are two muscle attachments, that is the gluteus maximus and the tensor facial arter. So what this iliotibial tract does, that it stabilizes the knee both in extension and partial flexion. So it stabilizes the knee in both extension and partial flexion, and as you can see, it is connecting the hip joint to the knee joint. So it will help in both the movements of hip joint and knee joint. So if there is an iliotibial tract contracture like in poliomyelitis, the hip joint movements, the fiber, that is flexion, abduction and external rotation, these are lost. And similarly in the knee joint, the movements FER and posterior subluxation of tibia are lost, that is flexion is lost, external rotation is lost, and posterior subluxation of tibia is also lost. So this is all about the iliotibial tract, intermuscular septum and facial arter. Now we come to femoral triangle. So femoral triangle is a triangular depression on the upper 1/3 of thigh. What are the boundaries? As you can see in this diagram, the base is formed by the inguinal ligament, lateral boundary by medial border of sartorius. Sartorius is the biggest muscle of the whole body, and the medial border, this border is the lateral border of this femoral triangle, and the medial border is by not lateral but medial border of adductor longus. This is adductor longus, this is lateral side, and this is medial side. So the medial border of adductor longus forms the medial boundary of femoral triangle. Now we see the roof. In the roof there are few structures. The skin and superficial fascia are obviously present in every roof, skin and superficial and deep fascia, but there are few vessels in the roof. As you can see, the great saphenous vein is coming and going inside the saphenous opening, which has cribble from plate. So before it enters the saphenous opening, there are few vessels draining into it. It's like superficial, not superior, superficial epigastric vessels, because they are coming from the epigastric region. Superficial external pudendal vessels, all these are superficial, and superficial circumflex iliac vessels. So from the iliac side, from the epigastric side, and we know there are external pudendal vessels here. So superficial external pudendal vessels, superficial epigastric vessels, and superficial circumflex iliac vessels, and these are coming into the roof of this femoral triangle. Also some lymph node, superficial inguinal lymph nodes are also present. So if we see the floor of the femoral triangle, you can see in this diagram, it is formed by few muscles, that is adductor longus, pectineus, because it's coming from the pectineal line, tendon of psoas major, and ilias or iliopsoas. So adductor longus, pectineus, tendon of psoas major, and iliacus. These four muscles are forming the floor of the femoral triangle. So what are the contents of the femoral triangle? So the main content will be the femoral sheath, and outside the femoral sheath is present the femoral nerve. If you see this diagram, we are seeing it from above. We are seeing the femoral triangle from above, and this is the femoral sheath. We can see the femoral nerve is present outside the femoral sheath. So if we are talking about the contents, we can say femoral artery, femoral vein, and femoral sheath, and femoral nerve, nerve to pectineus, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, and the deep inguinal lymph nodes. The superficial inguinal lymph nodes were in the roof. The deep inguinal lymph nodes will be the content. And there's something about this lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, that it can be both the roof and the content depending on how it crosses the femoral triangle. If it crosses deep to the femoral triangle, then it can be considered as a content. But if it is coming from above, then it will form the roof. As you can see in this diagram, this is the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. In this, it is coming superficially, so it will be a part of roof. If it had to come from deep, then it will form the content. Now let's come to the femoral sheath. It is a funnel shaped sleeve of fascia enclosing upper 3 to 4 of the femoral vessels. Why do we say that it is covering some few vessels? Because as you can see in this diagram, this femoral sheath is the extension of a few fascia. Anteriorly, it is made up of fascia transversalis, which is the posterior most fascia in the anterior abdominal wall, and from behind it is, that is the posterior, it is formed by fascia iliaca, which covers the iliacus muscle. So these femoral sheath is basically the extension of the fascias of the abdomen, and they are inserting down by covering 3 to 4 centimeters of the femoral vessels. So what all it contains, there is a little space on the medial side, then there comes the intermediate or venous compartment and the lateral most or the arterial compartment. The empty space region is also called as femoral canal, that is the medial or the lymphatic compartments because of presence of lymph nodes of Cloquet, and this triangular opening of this femoral canal is known as the femoral ring. The femoral ring. In the intermediate or venous compartment, we will see femoral vein, and on the lateral most we see the femoral artery plus the femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. It comes and then afterward it pierces and comes out to the skin of the anterior compartment of thigh. So if you see this diagram, the femoral ring, there is femoral canal, there are lymph nodes of Cloquet, or also known as Rosenwoller's lymph nodes, which drains the glans and clitoris. Then in the intermediate compartment lies the femoral vein and its tributaries. On the lateral most it has the femoral artery and its branches, and also the nerve, that is femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, which then pierces out and goes to the skin over the femoral triangle. So you can see there is some ligament present around here. This is known as the lacunar ligament, and this is important during the hernias. If the abdominal contents, because this is an opening, this femoral canal is an opening, it is an empty space. So if the abdominal contents herniate through it, we can cure the hernia by cutting this lacunar ligament. Now let's see the femoral canal in a little detail. This is the medial most compartment, as we told. This is the medial side, this is the medial compartment. It is a conical in shape. We can see it is a triangular conical in shape, and its upper ring is called as femoral ring, bounded anteriorly. In this diagram you can see there is anteriorly inguinal ligament, posteriorly will be pectineus, and on the medial side there is an concave margin of lacunar ligament, and laterally obviously the femoral vein. Now what it contains? It contains the lymph node of Cloquet or Rosenmuller lymphatics, which drains the penis in males and clitoris in females. Now let us see the diagrams of the BDC first, then we'll go on with the clinicals of these topics. We have seen this diagram, this diagram. If we see this diagram, it shows us the contents of the femoral triangle, in which we said there is femoral vein, femoral artery and femoral nerve, and also their branches and tributaries. If we see this dissected diagram, this empty space here is the femoral canal. This is the femoral vein and the great saphenous vein entering into it. This is the femoral artery, and this is the femoral nerve. There is one branch coming out of it, that is the profunda femoris artery. So this is seen as in the dissected diagram. The artery is some thick and round. The vein can be squished, and the femoral nerve is like hard stuff. The nerve is hard to touch. We saw this diagram where the femoral sheath is covering 3 to 4 centimeter of the femoral vessels. If we see this diagram, we talked about how the femoral sheath is made. Anteriorly, it is by the fascia transversalis, which is the posterior most fascia in the anterior. This is the anterior abdominal wall. The posterior most fascia, the transversalis fascia, which is forming the anterior part of the femoral sheath. And from behind, the iliacus fascia, that is the fascia iliaca, is forming the posterior part of the femoral sheath. Then we saw this diagram. This is the diagram from above, which is showing us femoral vessels and nerve. The superficial inguinal ring with spermatocord, inguinal ligament, ASIS, iliacus. We don't have to draw this diagram if you have understood all the other diagrams. Then the last diagram, in which we are seeing the femoral sheath, femoral canal, femoral vein, artery, and inguinal ligament. So let's come to the clinical part. We see the femoral hernia first, and it occurs due to the potential weakness in the femoral canal. So it is common in females because the femoral canal is wider, they have wider pelvis, and they have smaller size of femoral vessels. So we saw that the femoral canal, this region, femoral canal, is a potential weakness because it is an empty space and abdominal contents can herniate. So what is the direction of hernia? The direction will be that the abdominal contents come downwards, then forwards through the saphenous opening, and then upwards. So downwards, forwards, and upwards is the direction of the hernia. If there is a strangulation, of hernia, we said that we have to enlarge the femoral ring, and in order to enlarge the femoral ring, we have to cut this lacunar ligament. But we have to keep in mind that sometimes there can be an abnormal obturator artery may be present, and if it is cut, then there will lead to hemorrhage. So these are the clinicals, and we have covered all the topics of the lower limb part 1, that is the fascia lata, intermuscular septum, iliotibial tract, femoral triangle, boundaries, roof, floor, contents, femoral sheath, femoral canal, and clinical. Thank you. So now we'll see that how the questions are to be given in exam, and what is the pattern, and how do we write answers exam so we get full marks. So to write a good answer, you have to be very So we'll start with the first question, that is, write a short note on superficial inguinal lymph node. It is arranged in the form of letter T. It has a horizontal set of lymph nodes and a vertical set of lymph nodes. The horizontal set is also divided into lateral and medial. So what are the areas drained by these? The lower vertical set receives lymph from whole of the lower limb, except from the lateral side of the back of the leg, lateral side of the heel, lateral side of the foot. And the upper horizontal set, the medial side, receives lymph from anterior abdominal wall, below umbilicus, and external genitalia, except glans penis, part of anal canal below the pectineal line, vagina below the hymen, penile part of male urethra, and superolateral angle of uterus. And the upper horizontal set lateral part receives lymph from buttock, flanks, and back. So what is a note to be noted here, that lymph from superficial inguinal lymph nodes is drained into deep inguinal lymph node, Deep inguinal lymph nodes are present in the content of the femoral triangle. What is the clinical here? That the upper medial group of superficial inguinal lymph nodes is often enlarged if there is any infection in their drainage. So now let's come to the next question. That is, write a short note on saphenous opening. It is an opening in the fascia lata. Fascia lata is the deep fascia of the thigh. It lies about 4 cm below and lateral to the pubic tubercle. Saphenous opening has a sharp concentric lateral margin which lies in front of the femoral sheath, and an ill-defined medial margin formed by the fascia covering the pectineus muscle. It lies at a deep level, and the opening is closed by sieve-like fascia, the cribriform fascia. So you can see in the diagram the fascia lata, the pubic tubercle, the lateral concentric margin which is well defined, the ill-defined medial margin, and the cribriform fascia. So the structures piercing the cribriform fascia are long saphenous vein, superficial external pudendal artery, superficial epigastric artery, lymph vessels. Next question is the write a short note on femoral triangle, which is a triangular depression on the anterior medial aspect of the 1/3 of the thigh and apex directed downwards. So first we gave the definition of the femoral triangle. Now we'll give the boundaries as we talked earlier. The lateral, that is the medial border of sartorius, medial border of adductor longus, base inguinal ligament, apex meeting point of medial and lateral boundaries, roof we said skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, containing the superficial epigastric vessel, superficial external pudendal vessels, superficial circumflex iliac vessels, and the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. And the floor, it contains 4 muscles from medial to lateral: adductor longus, pectineus, tendon of psoas major, and iliacus. The contents: VAN, vein, artery, nerve, van, femoral vein, femoral artery, femoral nerve from medial to lateral side. Also, lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, deep inguinal lymph nodes, profunda femoris artery and through branches which are medial and lateral circumflex femoral arteries. These all arteries are branches of the femoral artery itself, and the genital branch of the genital femoral nerve. So the clinical of the femoral triangle is that if there is a swelling in the femoral triangle, it could be due to enlarged lymph nodes, psoas abscess, saphenous varix. And what is femoral pulse? The femoral artery's pulse can be felt at the mid-inguinal point against the head of femur. Next question. Enumerate the structures damaged by stabbing at the apex of the femoral triangle and give its applied importance. So from before backwards, these are femoral artery vein, femoral vein, profunda femoris vein, and profunda femoris artery. Profunda means deep. Wherever there is the use of the word profunda, it means deep. So if the femoral triangle is getting stabbed, the first to hit will be femoral artery, next femoral vein, next profunda femoris vein, and the deepest is the profunda femoris artery. A stab wound at the apex of the femoral triangle may be fatal as it cuts all the major vessels of the lower limb. Next question is write a short note on femoral sheath. So we'll write it is a funnel shaped fascial sleeve enclosing the upper 1.5 inch of femoral vessels. It is 4 cm long. It is conical in shape with vertical lateral wall and oblique medial wall. We can see the vertical lateral wall and the oblique medial wall. Formation: anterior wall by fascia transversalis, posterior by fascia iliaca. Compartments: lateral compartment which contains femoral artery and a femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. Intermediate compartment contains femoral vein, and the medial compartment, which is also known as femoral canal, which also has a femoral ring opening. It contains lymph node of Cloquet or Rosenmuller's lymphatics. See the diagram. This is the medial, this is the intermediate, and the lateral compartment. Next question, write a short note on femoral canal. So what is the femoral canal? It is in the medial compartment of the femoral sheath. It does not provide a passage to the large vessels, and it is filled by fibrofatty tissue. We said it is an empty space and it only has some lymph nodes. So boundaries of the femoral ring. You can see the femoral canal, and the opening of the femoral canal is the femoral ring. So if we see the diagram and tell its boundaries, the anteriorly will be inguinal ligament, the posteriorly will be the pectineal line and pectineus muscle and fascia. You can see the pectineus muscle behind the femoral canal, and medially will be the lacular ligament concavity. What are the functions of the femoral canal? It provides a dead space for expansion of the femoral vein during increased venous return. So, whenever there is a space needed for expansion of the vein, it can always expand into the medial side where the femoral canal is present, because it is an empty dead space. And it also provides passage to lymphatics from lower limb to external iliac lymph nodes. Which lymph nodes were present here? The lymph nodes of Cloquet or Rosenmuller's lymphatics. So what is the clinical anatomy of this femoral canal? That the femoral ring is the potential site of weakness in the lower abdomen through which a viscous intestine may protrude into femoral canal, causing a femoral hernia. So as we said that the femoral ring is a weak site, and abdominal contents can enter through it. It is more common in female because femoral canal is wider in females due to wider pelvis, size of femoral vessels is smaller in females, and there is a rise in intra-abdominal pressure during pregnancy. The strangulated femoral hernia is released by incising the lacunar ligament, and while doing so, the position of accessory obturator artery should always be kept in mind. What is the direction of enlarging hernial sac or the femoral hernia? First, it passes downward through the femoral canal, then it passes forward to bulge through the saphenous opening, and finally, as it enlarges further, it passes upward and laterally along the superficial epigastric and superficial circumflex iliac vessels. So what are the coverings of the femoral hernia? The peritoneum of the hernial sac, femoral septum, anterior wall of femoral sheath, cribriform fascia and superficial fascia, and at the last, skin. Here you can see all the boundaries and all the coverings, hernial sac, and then there's extraperitoneal fat, then cribriform fascia, then superficial fat, then skin. So reduction of femoral hernia. The thigh is slightly flexed and medially rotated to get laxity of the fascia and ligaments in the region, and the hernia is then reduced in a direction opposite to the line of course taken by the hernial sac. Now we come how the questions will be asked in Viva. We have covered how the what were the possible questions to be given in exams. Now we'll see the Viva part. So question number 1, why femoral triangle is known as Scarpa's triangle? Because it was first described by Antonio Scarpa. Next question, what are the boundaries of femoral triangle? We said it is bounded by laterally by medial border of sartorius, medially by medial border of adductor longus, base inguinal ligament, apex directed downwards and is formed by the meeting of medial and lateral boundaries, roof, skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia and all those vessels we talked about, floor, we said by adductor longus, pectineus, sterninosus major and iliacus. Then what are the contents of femoral triangle? Femoral artery, branches of femoral artery like profunda femoris, deep external pudendal, descending genicular, saphenous, muscular, superficial external pudendal, superficial epigastric, superficial circumflex iliac, all these branches of femoral artery. Femoral vein and tributaries, femoral sheath, femoral nerve, nerve to pectineus, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh and deep inguinal lymph node. Then what is femoral sheath? It is a funnel shaped facial sleeve enclosing the upper 1.5 inches of the femoral vessels or 4 cm. How is femoral sheath formed? It is formed by the downward extension of the abdominal fascia. The anterior wall is formed by the fascia transversalis and posterior wall by the fascia iliaca. All these questions are looking so easy now. We have discussed it 3 times. Then what are the relations of the femoral sheath? Anterior skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia with a saphenous opening and a great saphenous vein, and the posterior is iliopectineal fascia, pectineus, iliopsoas. Lateral, femoral nerve, iliacus. Medial, lacunar ligament, pectineus, and pubic bone. What are the parts of the femoral sheath? The cavity within the femoral sheath divisible into three parts. Lateral part contains femoral artery and femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. Medial part contains femoral vein, and the medial part is called the femoral canal. So, what is femoral canal? It is a medial compartment of the femoral sheath. It is conical and a 1.5 inches wide base at the uh, sorry and conical and half-inch wide at base and half-inch long. What is femoral ring? The base or the upper end of the femoral canal is called the femoral ring. The femoral ring is filled by condensed extraperitoneal tissue, the femoral septum, containing a lymph node and covered by parietal peritoneum. What are the boundaries of the femoral ring? Anteriorly, inguinal ligament, posteriorly, pectineus and fascia, laterally, septum separating it from the femoral vein. And then these are the same diagrams. If you want to see, you can pause and see, pause and see, pause and see. And the middle is the concave margin of the lacunar ligament. What are the contents of femoral canal? Lymph node, ophclocked or a frozen molar, lymphatics, and areolar tissue. You can also see this diagram. Next question, what are the functions of femoral canal? It serves as the dead space for expansion of femoral vein. It allows a lymphatic pathway from the lower limb to the external iliac lymph nodes. Then, what structure is drained by lymph node of the femoral canal? So, we talked about this, glans and penis in the male and clitoris in the female. So, what is the clinical importance of the femoral canal? The femoral canal is a potential point of weakness in the lower abdominal wall through which a viscous, that is intestines or urinary bladder, may protrude and give rise to a femoral hernia. Why is femoral hernia commoner in females? Because femoral canal is larger in the females due to greater width of the pelvis and smaller size of the femoral vessels. And also in the females, there is a rise in intra-abdominal pressure due to pregnancy, predisposing to femoral hernia. So why is strangulation more common in femoral hernia? Because the neck of the femoral canal is narrow. What is the risk of enlarging the opening of the femoral canal in releasing the strangulation of femoral hernia? In order to enlarge the opening of the femoral canal, the sharp lateral edge of the lacunar, that is the Gibbernatt's ligament, may require incision. An abnormal obturator artery may occasionally be present, which passes behind the lacunar ligament, and it is in danger of being cut. The last question, what are the coverings of femoral hernia? From within outwards, peritoneum, femoral septum, femoral sheath, cribriform fascia, and superficial fascia and skin. So now let's see the MCQs which came in the past years. What is the most medial in the femoral triangle? Lymphatics, nerve, vein, or artery? So obviously it is the lymphatics which is the most medial because it is present in the femoral canal. Second question, all are the contents of femoral triangle except femoral artery, femoral vein, superficial inguinal lymph nodes, and nerve to pectineus. So obviously the answer will be superficial inguinal lymph nodes because the deep inguinal lymph nodes are content, but superficial inguinal lymph nodes are the roof of the femoral triangle. Third question, all are the contents of femoral sheath except femoral artery, femoral nerve, femoral vein, genitofemoral nerve. Obviously the answer is femoral nerve because it is not present inside the femoral sheath, it is present outside and laterally to the femoral sheath. Now let us see few diagrams. In this you can pause and see the horizontal group of inguinal lymph nodes, the vertical group of inguinal lymph nodes, the femoral artery you can see, the great saphenous vein you can see, and all the branches of the femoral artery like superficial circumflex iliac, superficial epigastric, superficial external pudendal you can see here. In this diagram you can see the femoral nerve, the femoral artery, the femoral vein, and all those muscles forming the floor of the femoral triangle. In this diagram, you can see how the femoral sheath is coming out of those fascias of the abdomen, and the muscles present behind the femoral sheath, forming the floor of the femoral triangle, that is the iliopsoas and pectineus. In this, you can see how the femoral hernia will come on the right side diagram, and on the left side diagram you can see the vessels and the femoral canal. This In this diagram you can see how the intermuscular septum has divided the thigh into its compartments, and what all muscles are present in the transverse section of the thigh. So you can pause and see those diagrams. These are very good diagrams. This is the cadaveric diagram, and you can see all those arteries and nerves. The biggest will be the femoral artery, present or laterally. You can also see femoral vein. You can also see femoral nerve, which is the most lateral. Then you can see profunda femoris artery going deep, which is the branch of the femoral artery. And you can also see the great saphenous vein. It's a very good cadaveric diagram. Now I request you to pause and just read the clinical of the femoral sheath and femoral hernia. This is the same as we have dealt with earlier. You just can pause and read it. You may also pause and read this. And we have finished all these topic, and we now know what all questions will come in exam from these topics, what all questions can come in viva from this topic, how to speak, how to write the answers, what all details are needed here, what all clinicals were there, and that is all for these topics. Thank you, and leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.